What it do, chat? What it do, guys?
Screens aglow, messages fly. Late nights come, morning goodbye. Lights and sound, colors so bright. Together we fight all through the night. No time to worry, no need to fret. Just keep it moving, don't break the sweat.
Hello, chat. Hello, guys. Yeah, it's lazy. America first, guys. You know what I mean? The audio, video, good.
Boom, baby, let's go wild. Haters gonna hate, but we just smile. Just stick around, we don't procrastinate.
Audio, good. Audio's good. All right, chat. Let's get into it, man. Get into it, chat. Okay, so Trump is saying that he's gonna call and ICE chat to if they don't get TSA open. What Trump said, chat. Here we go.
Get tax expertise without
What the hell? What the hell? I don't have ads.
TurboTax expert.
I don't have ads. I don't have ads.
Say bye to fees and match with a trusted expert to handle your taxes.
I don't have ads. I don't know why I'm getting that shit. But yeah, Trump saying he's gonna send in ICE chat. He is. Let's get into it. Let me know if the audio is good.
Airlines are starting to really feel the impact as TSA agents go yet another week without pay. So far, we haven't seen major disruptions at our local airports, but there are growing concerns about staffing and safety. Our Katie Lusso spoke with a union leader who says the situation is becoming unsustainable and could pose real risks. She's live at Reagan National Airport tonight. Katie.
Yeah, and Lorenzo and Leslie, this is the
So Trump's saying that he's gonna call in ICE chat and to do TSA's job unless they bring back TSA. So let's continue on track.
third government shutdown in nearly 6 months, so the third time that TSA agents have been expected to come to work and not receive a paycheck. Now, this isn't just an inconvenience for travelers, it also begs the question of, is this posing a risk to security?
As we all know, that there are sleeper cells throughout, not only overseas, but they're here in the United States. And God forbid that we should experience another event like 9/11 because
Yeah, because Trump now says he's going to send an ICE agents to the airport chat, which is a good thing. You know what I mean? The Democrats need to get off their ass. You know what I mean?
Congress and this administration can't get their act.
How's the audio? Is it good?
Johnson is the president.
Turn it up a little. Okay.
The local union representing TSA workers at multiple airports
How's
in
that?
our region. He says they're still trying to recover from the last shutdown.
And they didn't have the best basic necessities, much less gas to report to work. They were broke.
Airlines across the country already seeing disruptions. More than 300 TSA agents have quit since the start of the shutdown. That's according to the Department of Homeland Security. And new data obtained by CBS this week found that sick calls have more than doubled this shutdown, with more than 10% of TSA workers calling out over the weekend.
Adam Stahl made the comment that these airlines have to consider closing some airports.
It's not clear which airports could be shut down. Johnson calling on lawmakers to figure things out and get the government back open.
Pay these employees. $11 billion is spent on this little excursion in Iran, but you can't pay employees here. Sit down like grown adults, face to face, and work it out.
Because while safety is their priority, these TSA workers are real people who right now aren't getting paid.
No one in such a critical position should have to go to work and in the back of their mind are thinking about how am I going to get funds to buy gas to report to work tomorrow.
And those things, he says, should not be something those working in such a high-stress, high-risk environment should have to be worried about.
Are you concerned right now that this could lead to something catastrophic?
I'm extremely concerned.
And tonight I can tell you that there's no line here on this side where security is, but if we take you over to the board right here, you can see just a slew of delays up here on the board. So, you know, this is your reminder that if you do have a flight, prepare to come to the airport a little bit early, but also prepare for potentially seeing some of those delays. At Reagan National Airport, I'm Katie Lasso, back to you.
Yeah, let's hope this is the worst of it and this partial government shutdown will end soon. Katie, thank you.
What do you think, Chad? What do you think, guys?
I don't know if you've heard,
What do
but
you think,
ITIL is perfect.
What do you think, Chad? And now Elon Musk saying he's going to pay for the TSA. God bless Elon Musk, Chad. Dive in.
Officers are calling out of work. Spring break is here, and flyers are bracing for long security lines as the partial DHS shutdown drags into another busy travel weekend. Thousands of TSA officers are calling out of work, and it's expected to cost airlines millions of dollars a day, with this one heading in the same direction. Here to talk more about the high price of this shutdown is Taylor Riggs, co-host of The Big Money Show, a great show. Sometimes I get to sit in with you. And Taylor, nobody better to address. So let's talk about the economic impact of this.
Yeah, so for now, not a whole lot, because as you can see with the line so long, there's still a lot of demand there. Now, the longer this goes on, the more of the economic impact. I'm not thinking about just me being inconvenienced, but what about all the people who are going without paychecks? They still have to pay rent. They have to pay their bills. So I'm worried about their ability to make payments. And then, of course, when people at home start to think about spring break, Easter's in 2 weeks, looking at these long lines, are there going to be people like us who say, okay, you know what, with young kids, maybe I won't travel, I'll cancel my flights, I'll pull back. If you get enough people who do that, then that's a real economic impact of people pulling back and saying, I'm not going to travel, I'm canceling plans altogether.
You know, you reach.
Yeah, Chad. So this is the Democrats doing this now, Chad. They is getting a little feedback. All right, give me a second. Try this.
Good point, because it's not just spring break. With Easter coming, now decisions have to be made as the Senate doesn't appear to be any closer to breaking this logjam.
You know what's interesting is there's a group of airports, San Francisco International is one of them, who's involved in the SPP. Basically, it's falls under TSA in terms of those private contractors have to have the same standards, but it's sort of a public-private partnership. It's close to privatizing TSA that we haven't had in a while. My call is, let's privatize TSA. This is ridiculous, the fact that all of this can go unfunded and be held up by Democrats who don't want to get on board and fund DHS. So we've done analysis of you could do that. You could try to privatize. I mean, that's not a short-term solution. That's going to have to be a multi-year debate in Congress to figure that out. But people who are signed up for Clear, even PreCheck, I've looked at lines at San Francisco Airport. They're moving because they've gone with private contractors and not relying solely on the government.
Okay, so you brought up the privatizing. We just, in the last headlines here minutes ago, we learned that Elon Musk.
There you go, Chad. Elon Musk.
On the table that he will pay the salaries of TSA employees. You can see it here. He says, I would like to offer to pay the salaries of TSA personnel during this funding impasse that is negatively affecting the lives of so many Americans at airports throughout the country. I got to tell you, Taylor, good on you, Elon Musk.
Yes.
Got W's in the chat for Elon. W's up.
Have the wherewithal and means to do it because these TSA agents, these men and women are real humans. And a lot of them aren't calling out sick or quitting because they're angry. It's because they've got to make ends meet and they've got to rush out and find a job where they're going to get a paycheck.
We've done so many statistics that right now you have, what, a quarter of households living paycheck to paycheck. Imagine if you're a TSA agent and you have families to feed and you're not getting paid and you're not able to put food on the table. You are having to call out to maybe work a second job. I love Elon Musk. He throws things out there. I'm not sure it would really stick. The funding does have to come from the government, but I love that he is pushing calls to get out there. The only other thing I will say is we heard from Delta a few weeks ago. They have said demand is through the roof. They said 8 out of their top 10 booking days have come in March alone, 5 of those being in the first week that the war in Iran started. So that's sort of a separate issue, but Delta is seeing demand across all different cabin types. So for now, it looks like demand is not going anywhere, which means for now, lines might stay long if you're unfortunately that TSA agent.
But just a final point, and that is we were just showing the call-out rates at airports across the country in places like Hartsfield, Jackson, Atlanta Airport, or in Houston down there. 4 out of 10 are calling out. And so how long do flyers really want to be in those crazy lines we've seen?
If you have young kids, you're not willing to wait in line for a couple hours. So if they start calling out, we'll see the real impact on the economy if you start to see big cancellations. But for now, I'm hoping that within the next week or two, we can solve this issue. This is, in my opinion, unacceptable.
It's unacceptable, I think, to all of America. A message Washington should heed this weekend as the Senate's working. Taylor Riggs, co-host of the Big Money Show, thanks for being here.
You got it. Thanks for having me.
I'm Chad. So, Elon. Go Elon. Go Elon. Okay, Chad. So now let's go to Iran, Chad. Let's go to Iran. See what's going on there, guys.
About winding down the war in the Middle East as more American troops reportedly head to the region.
Well, I may have a plan or I may not.
The mixed messages about what comes next as attacks escalate and oil prices surge.
I'm not thrilled, let's put it that way.
And Iran's new threats to target tourists around the world. CBC News inside Cuba. Blackouts, fuel shortages, a scramble for basic necessities.
People get only 2 hours of electricity a day.
How the U.S. oil blockade is being felt on the ground.
Chad, can you imagine that? 2 hours a day with electricity. That's crazy, Chad, in Cuba.
Ontario cracks down on ticket scalpers.
No more price gouging. Everybody gets access.
But will a cap on resale prices really work?
All right, let's jump in here, Chad.
Jerusalem's old city steps from holy
So,
sites
Chad, they're going after
tourists.
Jerusalem.
Katie Simpson in Doha, Qatar tonight, and she begins our coverage.
Here we go, Chad. Here we go.
The warnings to seek shelter sounded through Jerusalem's old city moments before impact.
Chad,
Surveillance video
this is
without
gonna be really
sound
big,
is
Chad.
just
I mean, it
as
really
remarkable.
is, Chad. This could get really big. Them bombing that. I mean, Chad, this could get really, really bad.
Debris and destruction near some of the world's holiest sites. Over the course of the day, Iran fired multiple missiles directly at Israel as it made new global threats. A senior Iranian military spokesman says Iran will pursue its enemies, American and Israeli officials, even in civilian locations, ready to target tourist destinations, parks, and recreation sites worldwide.
Now, Chad, that is a big no-no. You don't target civilians, Chad. You don't do that.
Supporters of the Iranian regime gathered in Tehran at a funeral for the intelligence minister, killed earlier this week by an Israeli airstrike. We have come to say that no matter how much you kill us, we become more awake, more alert, says this man. Yet another senior Iranian leader killed in this war, as speculation mounts about the condition of the new supreme leader. Iranian state TV read a letter purportedly written by him to mark the Persian New Year. He still hasn't been seen or heard publicly since he replaced his father nearly 2 weeks
I don't
ago.
think he's still here.
A lot of people are saying that he's badly disfigured, been hurt very badly. Other people are saying he's dead.
The U.S. and Israel continue to hammer Iran, they say targeting military sites. Iran striking back at Gulf neighbors, making a diplomatic solution less likely, says this analyst.
If the Iranians keep attacking the Gulf, then the Gulf is forced to stay in its current posture, which is defensive. and not fully involved in the diplomatic track.
Meanwhile, in Lebanon, the displaced take up shelter where they can. The UN says more than 1 million people are now forced from their homes because of the fighting between Israel and Hezbollah. All of it overshadowing what would normally be a time of celebration.
هيدا العيد أكيد بيختلف عن العيد اللي قبل.
This Eid is certainly different, says this mom, as she remembers giving her kids new clothes and spending the holiday at an amusement park or with family. There was a huge difference, she says, between being at home and being in a tent or bus.
Defense systems across the Gulf region continue to be tested by Iranian drones and missiles. But here in Doha, it's now been more than 24 hours since the last alert was sent out warning of an imminent threat.
So, Katie, that is quite a change.
Yeah, since we arrived here, we have been getting multiple alerts daily. It happens so frequently that some of the people we spoke with say that they've gotten used to it at this point.
Okay, thanks for this. Katie Simpson in Doha.
Yeah, Chad, that's really crazy, guys. Really, really crazy. Yeah, they start bombing civilian targets. Chad, that's crazy, guys. Absolutely insane. Let's go here, Chad. Here, yeah. So they went out after Jerusalem. So let's go here, Chad. Go ahead and play this one.
All right, the U.S.-Israel war on Iran is now entering its 4th week. Now, here are the latest developments that we are bringing for you from the ground at this hour. The Israeli military reported a series of blasts from Jerusalem. Air raid sirens blared across the region as the Israeli Defense Forces issued a statement saying that it identified Iranian missiles launched towards the state of Israel. The IDF added that defense systems are operating to intercept the incoming projectiles.
That's crazy, guys.
Iran continues its strikes on Israel by launching a barrage of missiles into West Bank and Tel Aviv as air raid sirens blared across the region. Health authorities in Israel said that no casualties have been reported so far. Amidst the debris piled up in several locations, at least 3 have been reportedly injured. Israeli military has warned residents of southern Beirut to evacuate ahead of strikes. The Israeli Defense Forces stated that it will continue to target Hezbollah targets throughout the region. Lebanese state media claimed that an Israeli airstrike killed 1 person and injured 2 others. The state media said that Israeli fighter jets launched a heavy strike at a house in the southern region.
That doesn't, Chad, to me, that doesn't look like, that looks like a damn, they brought that building down.
Intercepted Iranian drones targeting the eastern region.
That was a controlled
The country's
takedown.
defense ministry stated that at least 10 drones have been targeted and destroyed. The U.S. Central Command has released photos of an Iranian drone production facility. The first picture, dated March 3rd, 2026, shows the drone facility before the U.S. strikes, and the second picture, dated March 12th, 2026, shows the same facility after a barrage of U.S. strikes.
So you got before, right here, chat, before and after.
The Isfahan Khomeini Shah drone production plant produced Shahed drones that have been used by Iran to strike Israel and several Gulf regions.
There you go, chat. There you go. Let's see what else we got, chat. Let's see what else we got. Let's go here. Go here, chat. Operation Epic Fury. All right, chat. Let's go here.
The United Kingdom putting Iran on blast after Iran fired ballistic missiles toward a joint U.S.-UK military base in the Indian Ocean. Britain's defense minister calling the attack unsuccessful, as others warn it marks a significant escalation by Iran to reach U.S. targets far beyond the region. Chief International Correspondent Steve Harrigan joining us
Come into the
from
video over to
with
touch
more
the
on
right
that.
side of
Steve.
the what?
Kevin, Iran's
What you
new
talking about?
supreme leader giving an address to the nation to mark the end of the Ramadan holiday and also the start of the Persian New Year. Yet once again, he has neither been seen nor heard in public. The address was read over state television by someone else. Pentagon officials have long suspected that the new 56-year-old supreme leader was seriously wounded in the first day of attacks. In the meantime, U.S. forces continue to pound Iranian positions and weapons around the Strait of Hormuz. This as President Trump keeps up the pressure on European allies for them to do more to open up that key strait. Here's President Trump.
NATO could help us, but they so far haven't had the courage to do so. And others could help us, but, you know, we don't use it. You know, at a certain point, it'll open itself at a certain point.
In the meantime, the U.S. has temporarily lifted some restrictions on Iranian oil. About 140 million barrels already on ships will be allowed to be sold in the Far East. The move could hold the price of oil down, at least in the short term. Kevin, back to you.
Steve Harrigan for us in Armenia. Steve, thank you as always. Let's continue the conversation with U.S. Ambassador to NATO.
Yeah, so they're I think they're
Matthew
talking about
Whitaker.
Diego Garcia.
Really great
Chad.
to have you with us today. And this is one of those situations where you and I could go a million different directions in our conversation. But I want to begin, Matt, Mr. Ambassador, with the president talking about NATO. This may have been tough for you to hear. It's a message that you also have to relay to the folks with whom you work. This is what he said about NATO. Without the USA, NATO is a paper tiger. And
Paper
his
tiger, Chad. They
words
are,
were
Chad.
not,
Without us, they're a paper tiger.
Minced. He called them cowards for not
What do
being
you think,
willing
Chad?
to
What do you
help
think,
the
guys?
U.S. secure the Strait of Hormuz.
Let's do a quick
and
poll in the
frankly,
chat,
given
guys.
what we have done for NATO.
Quick poll in the chat, guys. Quick poll in the chat. Give me a second. We'll do a quick poll in the chat. Quick poll in the chat, guys. Is the NATO paper? Now, chat. Be honest, guys. Be honest. Paper. Out. All right, chat. Here we go. Start the poll. All right, chat. Here we go. Start the poll.
Countries for the past 50, 60, 70, 80 years. It hit very hard here in Washington. Your thoughts?
Yeah, and it hit really hard here in Brussels too, Kevin. It's great to be with you. But President Trump is absolutely right. You know, nobody has done more for NATO than Donald Trump as President of the United States by making them invest more in their capabilities because they had taken decades off. And, you know, I'm representing the United States interests at NATO, and I'm delivering tough messages, as you would expect. And President Trump is absolutely squared away on this. And you know,
And chat, he is squared away on it. Give me a second, chat. Give me a second. Let me fix this. Give me 1 second, chat. Give me 1 second. Does that look better, guys? Does that look better? I think it does. All right, give me a second, chat. Let's go back to the. All right, chat. Let's keep playing.
At least in the short term. Kevin, back to you.
Steve Harrigan for us in Armenia. Steve, thank you as always. Let's continue the conversation with U.S. Ambassador to NATO, Hawkeye, Matthew Whitaker. Really great to have you with us today. And this is one of those situations where you and I could go a million different directions in our conversation. But I want to begin, Matt, Mr. Ambassador, with the president talking about NATO. this may have been tough for you to hear. It's a message that you also have to relay to the folks with whom you work. This is what he said about NATO. Without the USA, NATO is a paper tiger. And his words were not minced. He called them cowards for not being willing to help the U.S. secure the Strait of Hormuz. And frankly, given what we have done for NATO countries for the past 50, 60, 70, 80 years, it hit very hard here in Washington. Your thoughts?
Yeah, and it hit really hard here in Brussels too, Kevin. It's great to be with you. But President Trump is absolutely right. You know, nobody has done more.
Yeah, Chad, Trump pretty much called them cowards.
More for NATO than Donald Trump as president of the United States by making them invest more in their capabilities because they had taken decades off. And, you know, I'm representing the United States interests at NATO, and I'm delivering tough messages, as you would expect. And President Trump is absolutely squared away on this. And you know, we really find ourselves in a moment where our allies, whether it is in the Indo-Pacific or whether it's here in Europe, they all need to be stronger. They all need to invest as fast as possible in the things that are necessary, like ships, like actual troops, and more capabilities. And they're, you know, they're slowly moving out. But, you know, again, I keep pushing that we need to do more, and we need to do it faster because it's a dangerous world, as you know, and we see with the Iranian situation right now, firing missiles all over the Middle East, and now aimed a couple at Diego Garcia. And, you know, I was down in Suda Bay this last week in the Mediterranean. I saw one of our destroyers there that's been part of the fight, getting refitted and reloaded to go back out. And, you know, I'm so proud to see and thank those brave men and women on that ship that are just, you know, the tip of the spear and doing everything we ask and just doing it in an amazing fashion.
Well, and it's none too soon to have them actually participate and make things right, because this is not just safety and security for American interests. This is safety and security for the world's interests. There is, however, finally a slowly growing coalition of allies that are claiming that they will help support the U.S. In our efforts in the Strait of Hormuz. Let me share this about the Hormuz Coalition. We express our readiness to contribute to appropriate efforts to ensure safe passage through the strait. We welcome the commitment of nations who are engaging in preparatory planning. We will take other steps to stabilize energy markets, including working with certain producing nations to increase output. That from the UK. How did you take that messaging from London?
To my point, this is where I think our allies, especially here in Europe, they're so used to issuing strongly worded statements and thinking that that makes a difference. You know, that's not strength. And I keep explaining that strength is not in the words you say or write on a piece of paper. Strength is in your economies and in your militaries. And for too long, they have neglected both of those things. And, you know, President Trump is pushing them to be stronger, to act stronger, and to be ready for the fight. And, you know, what we're seeing is that's a good first step. And I'm not going to suggest that being part of a coalition, and I know that, you know, a couple countries, including Portugal and Romania, just joined that statement as well. But we need to start seeing that turn into folks that are coordinating with us and working on clearing out the Straits of Hormuz.
Yeah, 3 words. Talk is cheap. Before I let you go, and I know you're very busy, and we certainly appreciate your time today, Hawkeye, I want to ask you about those strikes at the or near the Diego Garcia and the Indian Ocean. That really ratchets up things, and it certainly increases the concerns, not just for our troops and the UK. Of course, we share operations at that particular base, but look at the range. Now you can legitimately say, I believe, that the whole of Europe is at risk from the regime. Your thoughts?
Yeah, well, right now we don't know exactly kind of the capabilities of those missiles and whether they were modified to go further or, you know, made lighter to fly further. But it's still concerning, and I think the Iranians need to understand in their kind of last gasp here, 3 weeks into just getting completely decimated by the United States military together with Israel. I think they need to understand that if they, you know, are lashing out, whether it's against Great Britain and their bases, or whether it's against the Turks, or whether it is against our allies in the Middle East, you know, that is not bringing people against the United States. It's actually solidifying those that oppose Iran and understand why President Trump made the bold decision to make the move now, and why this is so important ultimately for the world, and why it's dramatically going to improve the future for a lot of folks around the globe.
Yeah, most notably the people on the ground in that great country, which has so much potential. And obviously the entire globe is wishing for the very best as they hopefully will remove the regime from power there. Matt Whitaker, the ambassador to NATO, thank you for your time today, my friend. We appreciate it.
Yeah, good to see you again, Kevin.
Be sure to
Yeah,
like
Chad. What do you think, guys? What do you think, Chad? What do you think?
We are entering week 4 of the war with Iran, and President Trump has this encouraging message, quote, "We are getting very close to meeting our objectives as we consider winding down our great military efforts in the Middle East." Meanwhile, Saturday in America is uncovering several Democrats who appear to have flip-flopped on the nation's threat level. First up, Senator Chris Murphy.
Yes, it is true. Iran is closer to a nuclear weapon than ever before.
A military action to eliminate Iran's nuclear program, just totally unnecessary.
And then there is Democratic leader Chuck Schumer.
If the sanctions fail and military action is warranted, a re-elected President Obama is far more likely to launch that kind of military action, probably in concert with Israel. This administration is signaling more escalation ahead. This is insanity.
And here's Vice Chairman of the Senate Intelligence Committee, Mark Warner.
I would hope that we could continue to ratchet up pressure from not just our sanctions, but also more of the Europeans as well. We've got to try to find ways to get rid of that regime, though. There was no imminent threat to the United States, and I don't believe there was even an imminent threat to Israel from Iran.
But if Democrats think that their theater is hurting President Trump, CNN just issued a brutal fact check.
The president's overall approval rating is the same. It's the same. It was 41% before the current war in Iran started, and it is 41% now. So despite, again, all the hubbub, despite all the critics of the president of the United States, what we are seeing right now is a president whose approval rating is steady, and this has not been a big deal politically.
Well, maybe it remains unchanged because Americans realize that the president is committed to winning. CENTCOM posting this strike video last night that you're looking at. Commander Brad Cooper says that more than 8,000 targets have been hit and 130 Iranian vessels struck, making this, quote, the largest elimination of a Navy over a 3-week period since World War II. Let's bring in Medal of Honor recipient Dakota Meyer. Dakota, great to speak with you. The president put out that message that things are winding down, but there have been 3 amphibious assault ships sent towards the region, roughly 2,500 additional Marines sent to the region. So what do you make of what's happening? Where do you think we stand?
Look, I think what's going on is this is what happens when we have an administration that we can trust, and an administration that promises and delivers on America first, and that is going to do whatever they can to win, right? I mean, this is what the president ran on. This is the administration that he built with this.
All right, Chad, give me a second. We're going to switch over to our flight tracker. Give me a second, Chad. All right, Chad. So this is our live flight tracker right here. This is a military aircraft right here, Chad. What this is. They're taking off out of this base right here, Chad. That one's landing. So they're circling. They're refueling, Chad. All these airplanes are refueling right now. These are all refuel airplanes, Chad, right here. Yeah, they're all circling out here. Okay, so this one go. He just took off. That guy flew out here. Probably did some refueling. Yeah, this guy did a. This one right here. It's another one right out here. There's Qatar right here. So they're refueling, chat. What's this guy right here? No photo available. But Abu Dhabi right here, chat. That's an airliner. So this is the straits right here. Go over to the island. Absolutely nothing. The Hormuz Strait. I mean, Iran. There's nothing over Iran, chat. There's nothing over Iran. Do some filters, military only. So they're still flying out, chat. Which I wouldn't be flying out of there right now. You can see all our military aircrafts are over here, flying out of That's a military aircraft right there. You can see where he went, chat, right here. Got another airplane coming in here. Yeah, we got major aircraft, military aircraft going on right here right now. Major. All these are refueling airplanes, chat. There's another one. Another one. Yeah, look. Is that a bomber, chat? What do you think? Yeah, they're not playing around, chat. They're not. These guys are going back out. These guys are coming back in. Let's see. It's a Boeing Strato tanker. So these are Strato tankers, chat. The KC-135Rs. Yeah, military. These are all military tankers, chat. These are going to refuel all these aircraft you see in it. This is live, chat. This is live right here. Yeah, the KC-135R Strato tankers. So these are refueling as we go. And you see the Rouser flying right here. There's another one right here doing refuels right now, chat. He flew into this area, which, chat, they got ballistic missiles up here in Iran. So, I mean, they could, I don't know. I wouldn't be flying down there. And there's a Qatar right here. You don't see anything over Qatar. There's Karg Island right here, chat. See if we can this is Karg Island right here, chat. If you got anything going on right now in Karg Island, you're not going to see it because they're going to be turning their trackers off. I'm surprised they got their trackers on right now, right here. Okay, so we got a A320 there. There's a KC-46A Pegasus. United States. Yeah, chat. He's just flying around. Look at him, chat. Look at his flight path. He's just flying all around here. That's a Boeing KC-46A Pegasus. That's a airliner. But yeah, look at the pattern on this. That's a big airplane, guys. You're not gonna see what he's refueling. You'll see him. See how he just took off? Got him. Look at him go, shot. There's another one. He went out here in the middle of so all these aircrafts are coming out. All the other ones are coming in, chat. Most likely to refuel. This is what he did. He came out, circled here. Looks like they're coming out doing some refuels right here. See what other aircraft. Abu Dhabi. These are probably ain't getting what is this? Unknown aircraft. What do we got at the airport here? These are all commercial. Probably commercial. Commercial airline, commercial. So yeah, it looks like all our military aircraft are right over here, Chad. They're doing a lot of refueling. That's another military aircraft right there, Chad. All these ones that you see going to the right are going out. That's a KC-135R. Strata tanker, Chad. That's in a yeah, look, there you go, chat. Look at that. C130, chat. C130 C130J Hercules, chat, right there. That's a C130 Hercules right there, chat. That's a military aircraft right there. This is live, chat. He came from, where did he come from? He's coming out of so he came out of Tahif. International Airport. That's where he came out of, chat. The Heath International Airport. What we got here? So that guy, where's he at? Where's he at, chat? That was a Hercules chat. Where the hell did he go? That was the C-130 Hercules. It still had his transponder on. See what we got here? Airliner. Airliner. There you go, Chad. Look at that. Refueling right there. That one's giving me NA on it. Another one. I want to know where that C-130 is going. Chad. This one right here. Here, let's keep an eye on the C-130, Chad. That's a C-130 Hercules, guys. C-130J. He's at 30,000 feet right now. He came out all the way down here, chat. All the way down here, guys. Right here at Arif Airport. That's where he flew from. So what is he? Yeah, they carry equipment, guys. Troops and equipment. This ain't a refueling airplane, chat. And he did a swoop here. Now he's continuing towards Kuwait, chat. Y'all see that all right, guys? What do we think this guy's doing, Trent? I mean, Trent, that's a troop airplane. That's a C-160J Hercules, Trent. This right here. What do you think this guy's doing? I mean, all these other airplanes are commercial, and then we got tankers that are doing refuel. This is not a refueling airplane. This carries like cargo, troops. Wonder what he's doing, Chef. We're gonna keep an eye on this guy. He's flying towards Kuwait. And all these planes you see here are all tankers. So we got him here. That's a airliner. Yeah, I'm kind of curious to see what this C-130 does. That's a refueling airplane right there, chat. That's another refueling airplane. All these guys are heading back in. But you can see they're coming out here, right here. I want to keep an eye on the C160. See where he's going. Do we have any other airplanes flying the same direction? Yeah, it's kind of interesting, chat. Why a C-160 JATO Hercules is flying that way. That's an Israeli. That's not. That's not an American. It's got an Israeli flag on it. So yeah, it's got an Israeli flag on the tail. Do you see that, chat? Can y'all see that or no? See, if you look at the ones that are flying in and out, you could clearly see a U.S. flag on the back, but this one's got an Israeli flag on the back of it. Yeah, that one's got a U.S. flag. So all these are U.S. refueling. This guy has got an Israeli flag on it. Just a second, chat. Give me. Pull up another window. Yeah, chat. So the C-130 is J, the Hercules, called the Fire Herc. Uh, Rapid troop transport, cargo delivery, airdrops, airfield operations, tactical airlift used for dropping off troops equipment into hostile unimproved areas. Chat. So that's what we're tracking. He just did. You see him? He did a turn right there, chat. Oh yeah, dropping off equipment and troops, chat. We're tracking him. Now he's headed back. I don't know why yet. I don't know. It looks fun. Why would they have a C-130J Hercules out, chat? An Iranian, a troop carrier. Not unless they just dropped off some. They're parachuting in or something, chat. You know what I mean? But they didn't land. But it's kind of funny. He just did a U-turn here. You know what I mean? And it's what 12:03 a.m. there. Current time, chat. So you got all these planes right here that are refueling. They're coming out here and refueling, but I'm kind of curious about this C-160. Why he's even out here? He flew from all the way down here. From Tarif Airport. and flew all the way up here, made a circle, and now he's making a U-turn. Why is he all the way up here, Chuck? That's a troop and cargo aircraft. Israeli. These are all your refuel planes right here, Trent. I don't want to keep an eye on this guy. So we got an Israeli C-160 or C-130J Hercules flying around right here, chat. Just south of Kuwait. And you got Israel right here, chat. So Israel right here, but you got an Israeli aircraft flying out of Arif Airport, flying north towards Kuwait. Okay, now he's circling back around, chat. I don't know what he's doing. So he's circling back around, chat. Like that's a troop aircraft, chat. So it's just south of Kuwait right now. And if you go back, if you go north towards Kuwait, let's see what this is. That's an airliner. But that is a C-160, chat. J Hercules, chat. Super Hercules, chat, at that. And all these planes right here are refueling. That is a military refueling jet right there. What is this guy doing, chat? Look at him. He's going back. So he just made a big circle right here, chat. Wonder what he's doing, chat. He just south of cool. I don't even know. I don't speak scribble. So you got King Khalid, military city, right here. Yeah, he just did a loop or circle. Now he's circling back. I'm wondering where he's going, guys. Again, guys, that is a C-130J Hercules, guys. If we track where look at flight tracking. He's coming on. He flew all the way out of here, the Heath Airport. There's no other airplanes anywhere on this airport. Okay, so you got Prince of Military Hospital right here, chat. So this is a military base. Let me look that up and see. Eve. Let me look that up, check. In Saudi Arabia, located 30 kilometers east of Tarif. Okay. 5,000 feet above sea level. Keep an eye on this guy. Give me a second, shot. Doing some reading right now. Where you at, big boy? Where you at, big boy? All right, Chad. Now see how I just made a circle? Dive a little deeper. Give me your thoughts in the chat, guys. Give me your thoughts in chat. Called a Shimshon, Chad. Israeli Shimshon. That's what they call the C1 or the Arnaf. Yeah, definitely not. Definitely a diplomatic, sensitive mission. Saudi Arabia and Israel do not have. What the heck? What the heck, Chad? What the heck, man? Can't track him no. God. What the heck? Yeah, so let's see. So he's flying out of there. Medevac. Let's see. Uh, the Okay, news and U.S. operations at Taif. Also, as of today, Saudi Arabia has officially opened King Fahd Air Force Base to the U.S. military forces. This follows the sustained Iran drone strikes and other bases like Prince Sultan Air Force Base. The C-130 you are seeing flying towards Kuwait is likely a U.S. Air Force transportation shifting asset or personnel from Taif to Ali Al Sahim Air Force Base in Kuwait. That shit's heating up, and you saw it here first, guys. I showed you guys. I ain't gonna lie. Kuwait air defenses are currently intercepting hostile drones and missile attacks today. Transport aircraft like the C-130J are frequently used to ferry interceptor parts and support personnel between regional bases like Taif and Kuwait during such escalations. RSAF, which is Air Force Base in Saudi Arabia, currently upgrading the C-1 Hercules fleet to C-130J models. Yeah, so it's likely logistics or personnel transport. Come on, child. Let's see if I can pull it up again. Where's Kuwait? Where's this guy at? The A320. A320. Yeah. Yeah, he was just right here on this. Yeah, I don't know. He might have turned off his shit. Cause he was right down here. All right, Chad, I got him to get home. He just keeps circling right here, Chad. I don't understand this guy. He just keeps circling this. We got tankers doing refueling right here. There's another tanker. This guy right here, he just keeps circling this one area. All right, so that tail number comes back to a Lockheed Martin KC-130J Super Hercules, operated by the Kuwait Air Force. That's the Kuwait Air Force airplane, right? 42nd Transport Squadron based at Padua. C-130 variant, multi-role tanker to transport. There's an aerial refueling. such as the Kuwait's FA-18 Hornet, moving troops, heavy equipment, palletized cargo. Got 4 Rolls-Royce engines on it, chat. Payload 42,000 pounds of cargo. Regional transport between Kuwait and Qatar. Completed a round trip mission between Kuwait International and Doha International. Yeah, it looks like he's probably refueling the F-18s, FA-18s. Got a lot of refueling going on, baby. I mean, look at all these airplanes up here, chat. There's another tanker right there, another tanker right here, another tanker right there, another tanker right there. Got a lot of refueling going on, chat. There's another tanker right there. Look at they're doing a lot of refueling, guys. That's the NA, chat. These guys are probably doing in-flight refueling. He probably just got done refueling. Whatever. It's not telling me what it is. The PA8, Boeing PA8. This is Boeing. So, Chad, that is a American Maritime Patrol and Reconnaissance aircraft right there. That is exactly what that is, Chad, right there. The red dot on your thing is a American Maritime Patrol and Reconnaissance aircraft. I was following that tanker. So there's a reconnaissance aircraft right there, Chad. Yeah, so that's a reconnaissance aircraft right there. That guy right there. That was this going too damn fast. I can't click on him. Looks like that's another one, chat. That's another one. These are both NAs. Oh, that's a refueler, chat. That's another refueler. Look at this guy. Holy cow. Look what he's flying, chat. These are all refueling guys. That's a reconnaissance airplane right there. Where'd he originate from? Yeah, this guy's doing some major refueling right now. He's just south of Kuwait, too. If you look at Iran, there's nothing. Well, I mean, there's probably a lot over Iran, but they got their transponders turned off. I mean, the closest you got is up here. Don't look like we got any military aircraft up. Kind of curious what we got down here. Where's that little island at? The heck is that, chat? C-17A right there, guys. That's a Globemaster right there. That's a Globemaster right there, guys. So he flew out. That's Qatar, guys. That's a C-17A. That's a yeah. What is going on, guys? Where are you going, buddy? Where is he going, chat? He just turned north too. Where are you going? Shit, y'all can't even see. Hold on a second. Yeah, this guy's turning north, chat. Where the hell is he going? That's a chat. That's a C-17A Globemaster. Where is he going? I want to see where this guy's going. So, Chad, we already saw the PA, which is a maritime patrol and reconnaissance aircraft. Now we're seeing a Globemaster C-17A. Where'd he go, Chad? He disappeared. Turned off his transponder. He turned off his transponder, Chad. Where the hell's he going? There's another military aircraft, chat. Shadow tanker right there. Where the hell was he going, chat? He turned off his transponder. Gone then. Yeah, something's going down, man. Something is definitely going down, chat. This is chat. He keeps circling right here. This is the C-130J Hercules. That him? All right, chat. He's back on radar. Turned his transponder off there, surely. Yeah, he's over Qatar right now, chat. Heading north. I'll show you, chat. That's what's fun. That right there is what's flying, chat. That's a big, huge freaking airplane, chat. Military aircraft. Huge. Just turn off his transponder again. There's a chat. Something's going on in this area right here. What do we have? What the hell we got going on here, man? Okay, yeah. It's all commercial. They'd be back at you. Like he was over at Qatar. Turn his tracker off. Yeah, coming in here. They're all commercial. There's your military aircraft right here, guys, doing major refueling. Major refueling going on right. Major refueling going on. There's that. He's doing some refueling. F-18 probably. Yeah. The hell did that airplane go? He was headed north, chat. I don't know where he went. Got anything else over here? This is the island that they were talking about with all the oil on it. Right here. All the oil's right here. There's another one, chat. He's refueling. What altitude is he at, chat? He's at 17,000 feet right now. Just circling 17,000 feet. 334 knots. Where did my big boy go? Did he land? So yeah, chat, we got some major. We still got aircraft coming into Sahara, or Dubai. What is this? Unknown aircraft. It's at 19,000 feet. Unknown aircraft, chat. Yeah, when you see an unknown aircraft, something. I don't know where this guy went, guys. He turned off his transponder. I don't know where he's going. That was a big airplane, though. Rain. Nothing flying out over here. There's a C-160. He just keeps flying here. He's flying his pattern, chat. Could be feeling the F-18, F-A-18. Yeah, look at this, all this empty airspace, chat. Nothing in Iraq, but nothing in Baghdad. Nobody's flying in this area, Chad. Staying out of the area. The tanker, refueling tanker. Yeah, everybody's staying way, 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 way to the north. There's Afghanistan. Jordan. Yemen. There ain't nobody flying in Iran, Chuck. We can't find our airplane, dude. Where'd he go? We got a lot of airplanes that are refueling right here. Guy's refueling right here. Another tanker. Probably another tanker right here. Got a C-130 J right here. Another tanker right here. Where are you, dude? Guy right here. Yeah, Chad, I've been watching this guy, man. It's C-130J. Looks like the tankers have kind of slowed down, but they're probably refueling. Look at this guy, man. He's been all over the place, Chad. This guy just right around this area. This guy's been freaking all over the place. Guy's been right around this area. See where this guy's going. Yeah, he's doing some refueling right now. Big airplane, Chad. This is a very big airplane. Very big airplane, Chad. Very big. Where the hell did my airplane go down here in Qatar, Chad? We were tracking a huge airplane down here, military aircraft, but we lost. He must have turned his transponder off. Park Island's right here, Chuck. But he was coming, he was headed north from Qatar going this way. It was about right here. And his transponder went dark. Major refueling going on right now, chat. Major. That's it. And I don't know what that is, chat. Let's see if it. Yeah, this is another reconnaissance airplane right here, chat. This is the recon right here. This guy right here is a reconnaissance area. It's a P-8A. He's currently at 21,000 feet. Ground speed 317 knots. Yeah, this is a reconnaissance airplane here. Probably another tanker, yep. AC-46A Pegasus. It's a big airplane, chat. Big airplane, guys. Look at his route. Holy cow, dude. See if we got any breaking news, chat. Give me a second. Okay, so they're pounding an Air Force base or a military base in Kuwait. That was 16 hours ago. Take a look at this, chat. Give me a second. Yeah, so this is Kuwait right now, Trevor. 16 hours ago,
Iran
anyway.
has launched a strike on a U.S. military facility in Kuwait, igniting large fires and sending thick smoke visible from the Iraqi border. The attack underscores the ongoing escalation in the Gulf and Tehran's ability to directly target key Western military assets in the region. Footage circulating online shows flames near Camp Arifjan or Ali al-Salam Air Base, two of the most strategic U.S. installations in Kuwait. These bases host thousands of troops, advanced military equipment, and logistical support for operations across the Middle East. The videos, widely shared on social media, capture the scale of the fires, with bright glows visible over long distances at night. This strike comes amid months of sustained Iranian missile and drone operations against U.S. and allied sites in Kuwait, Bahrain, UAE, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and Iraq, causing fires, smoke, and some casualties.
C-160, and you got
U.S.
all these
forces remain on
refuelers
high alert, deploying advanced missile defense systems, while Kuwait and neighboring countries continue monitoring threats. The attack coincided with assaults on critical infrastructure, including Kuwait's Mina al-Ahmadi oil refinery, where drone strikes disrupted operations, highlighting vulnerability across multiple fronts. The strikes demonstrate Iran's ability to project power far beyond the Gulf, signaling deterrence and expanding regional influence. U.S. and allied forces continue assessing damage and maintaining readiness as tensions rise. Kuwait and its partners remain on high alert as the conflict intensifies, raising concerns over regional stability and broader global security implications.
chat. That's why you see all this happening right just south of Kuwait, guys. Got another tanker right here, fueling. Another one right here, KC-135R, Strata tanker. This guy's still out here refueling the F-18s. Yeah, they were very, very. There was a lot more than this. They must be refueling up here. Got one. Look at this guy, man. Look at his. That's a reconnaissance airplane right there, guys. He's doing reconnaissance. That's a P-8A, guys. It's a reconnaissance airplane. Doing recon, baby. They're all airliners, fueler, refuel, 130J, yeah. Yeah, so that guy's doing recon right here. This guy's doing recon. Keep an eye on him, chat. See what he does. We had one over Qatar, but we lost him. I don't know where he went. We lost him about right here. Anyway, guys, if you like the content, make sure you hit the like button, guys. I think we're going to get out of here. I'm going to call it a night. Hey, it's Lazy right here on YouTube. Until then, Lazy's out.